All right. What's up, everybody? Crypto enthusiasts. Welcome back to the stream. I've got a green light on here, so I believe the stream is working this time. I had some issues last Friday, wigged out on me. We weren't able to have our stream, unfortunately, but today it's looking like it's good. So what I need you guys to do is if you can see me, please let me know. Oh, great. We are live. We got EarthPath in here. It says awesome. Another live stream. Great. So we got the green light. Things are working. Today we're going to be talking about a couple different things. There's so much to talk about, but if you're new, we are talking about Wise Lending, that is this platform, and Wise Token, that is the token that goes with the platform and the ecosystem. So glad I could do this stream. This one's going to be a relatively shorter stream, but that's okay. I'm going to do at least one more this week, if not two. And I'm also cranking out some videos for you guys. As soon as I get them edited up, I'm going to have some videos on several different things. First of all, Wise Lending, this platform, explaining to you guys what makes us different, why we are a cut above the rest. If it's not already really apparent to you guys, because, look at our APYs. We got 16% APY almost for stable coins. And it's been like this for, weeks. It's been at least 12% or more for weeks. Why? Because we are a platform that actually creates a demand for borrowing. You go to another lending platform like Aave, for instance, the biggest lending platform in the space, and there's no demand for borrowing. Borrowing is an option that you could do on the platform, but they do nothing to create demands. And if you're a lending platform that doesn't create demand for borrowing, then people aren't going to borrow that much. That's just the way it is. Wise Lending creates a demand. The way it creates a demand is by creating an arbitrage between these borrowing pools and yield sources that are off the platform. So we've integrated these yield sources. You can see Pendle yield sources with Lido staked ETH and the Athena protocol. And these are yield sources, Pendle liquidity pools that have high APYs that we have integrated into this platform so that people can borrow from our pools, and then they can put that money in the Pendle LP and do that yield farming. Here's the key: without leaving our platform. So every other lending platform out there, if it's a traditional lending platform, you're not going to see integrated yield opportunities on the platform. You would have to take the money off of that traditional lending platform and then put it on the yield source. But that doesn't work very well, because first of all, you have to be over collateralized. If you put $10,000 on the lending platform, you can only take like $6,000 off the lending platform. So, and you got to pay the APY for that. So that doesn't really make sense, because, why, if you had $10,000, why not just put all $10,000 on that yield platform, get the higher APY? Here, you can use this like a crypto savings account. You can put money in here and you can get high APY because we have integrated yield sources that borrowers are going to borrow up. If you look at the utilization rate of our pools, you can see that all of them, except Wrapped Bitcoin, because we don't have a Wrapped Bitcoin yield farm yet, but all of them are sitting at 90% utilization. Ethereum is like 89%. So basically 90% utilization. And that is because we allow people to borrow those pools up to 90% utilization and use those borrowed funds to put them on these yield sources, which are, Pendle pools, specifically Lido staked ETH, and then the Athena protocol. So if you want to use this as a borrower and take advantage of that opportunity, the opportunity only exists when the utilization rates are less than 90%. So if we look right now, you can see available to borrow, there's only like $185 of USDT to borrow. So not that much. Like, you wouldn't want to create a farm when there's only $185 to borrow. You're not going to make enough money to cover the transaction fees on Ethereum. So the opportunity is there when the utilization is below 90%. And so basically, next time somebody puts money on the platform, next person who deposits on the platform, if they don't open up a power farm themselves, then there is going to be available funds to borrow, and then you could borrow it up using a power farm. And I'll show you what that looks like. Basically, you'd use funds from your wallet, you would leverage it, and you can see here that, I could use 1 USDT for my wallet. Obviously, you wouldn't want to use that. You'd want to use a lot more. But just for the purposes of showing you, I could borrow up to 14 USDT. So this is a 15x leverage position. And then that 15 USDT total would be put on the Athena protocol on Pendle. That's you, but you don't have to leave the platform. It's all right here. And so we use a smart contract to do that. And that's how we allow this to happen. So basically what would be happening here is you'd use your 1 USDT, you'd be borrowing 14, you have 15 USDT total, you'd put that on the Athena protocol, you'd be paying 21% APY to borrow that 14 USDT, and then you'd be earning 25% APY on the source, which is Athena. So the net APY would be 78%. So that's how that works. And so not a lot of people know about these power farms yet, but eventually, like as soon as somebody puts money on our protocol, as soon as somebody deposits, like people are going to open power farms like right away. Like it's going to be just automatic, and eventually there'll be even bots created that are scanning the blockchain, and as soon as somebody deposits, all of the they'll borrow up the pools back up to 90% and open a power farm position. And so this is the mechanism that's needed to make a lending protocol that's efficient. I think of this like I want to compare it to Uniswap, actually. So Uniswap is a much simpler platform than a lending platform. It's a decentralized exchange, and all it is pools of liquidity. Now, we have pools of liquidity, but they're only one asset, right? Like, Ethereum, USDC, etc. On Uniswap, they're 2 assets. They're half one asset, half another asset. So it could be half Ethereum, half USDC. And obviously, it's a trading pair. And, you could swap in between the pairs. You could swap USDC for ETH or swap ETH for USDC. And it's basically, buying and selling of ETH or whatever trading pair that is. Uniswap does not need to set the prices for you to transact at. That's why it's called an AMM, an automatic market maker. The reason it doesn't need to is because if it's at the wrong price, then people are going to buy up the cheap side until it is the right price. So for instance, if there's a Uniswap pool, half ETH, half USDC, and if the price of ETH is $1,000 in that pool, Uniswap doesn't need to set the price. Oh, actually, it's supposed to be $3,000. No, it doesn't need to do that because people just buy it up. They will just buy up that ETH until the price goes up to $3,000, and then there's no more arbitrage. That's just automatically going to happen. That's why it's an automatic market maker. With lending platforms should be the exact same way. Lending platforms should not have to worry about having terrible APY. Lending platforms should have the highest APY possible in the market. People should just naturally borrow it up, just like someone would buy up cheap tokens on Uniswap. But since lending platforms are a little bit more complicated than Uniswap, there's an extra step that's needed because people are not going to just borrow unless there's a reason to borrow, unless they have like a clear, one-click solution for borrowing. And that's exactly what these power farms are. So because we've integrated these power farms, we've got a source APY. You can see that, we've integrated something, this Athena pool, that has a source APY currently of 25%. And if we go look at what people are paying to borrow, you can see that borrowers are paying 22% to borrow USDC to put on that pool. So they're paying 22, they're earning 25. So that makes sense, right? Like they obviously are not going to pay 25% because then they wouldn't be making any money. They're not going to pay 26% because then they would be losing money. They're going to pay a little bit less in APY because that gives them an arbitrage. And people are just automatically going to do that because why not? It's basically free money. Like your power farm, you got to wait until a certain amount of time for it to start earning and get into profits, but it's basically free money if you spend the time to farm in the farm. So this is just automatically going to happen, guys, and this is exactly the way that it should be. So we never have to worry about our lending rates being low because we know that we've got this mechanism where people are always going to borrow it up. Now, what could happen is the APY source, the source APY could go down, right? So like what if this goes to 20%, or what if it goes to 5%, which has happened. That's exactly what's happened on the Arbitrum chain. Well, that's fine, because we could just make more power farms. We could integrate, like if Pendle isn't the best source anymore, then we could integrate whatever is the best source. So whatever is the best source of APY on stablecoins and Ethereum, we can just integrate that into our protocol and allow people to arbitrage and basically make a power farm for whatever the top yield asset is. And so this is something that makes our platform really unique and really like it's not going to go obsolete, because all we need to do is maintain these power farms and keep on adding new power farms as new and better yield sources present themselves. So let's say, we're integrating real world asset vaults soon. And so those real world asset vaults, if they're better APY than the Pendle, well, then that's going to be what people use. And, if something new comes along, we can just integrate that. So this is a way we can stay cutting edge without having to develop the technology for the yield. We're not in the business of creating, that yield. Like we're just integrating that yield. And so that makes us a lot more, like we're going to be around for a long time as long as we can maintain this, because we'll never go obsolete as long as we stay on top of integrating those good yield sources into the protocol. And so that makes us a hub where people want to put their money, because if you know that Wise Lending has the best yield, safest yields, and is always going to be, on top of their game and integrating new and better sources as they emerge, then why would you want to put your money anywhere else? Like you're just going to use Wise as a savings account. Like why wouldn't you want to get almost 16% APY on your stablecoins? There's no better place that you could put them. Like in their wallet, in your wallet, you're not earning anything. On Aave, another lending platform, you're earning like 1/3 of what you'd be earning here. And so that's the idea. So that's why we have now $1.4 million total value locked, and that's why we're growing. So let me check with the chat. Cool, we got Earth Nodes in here, Harding Crew. Let's go Wise Lending. My first time on Wise Live from Enya67. Hey, welcome. Good to see you. All right, so we talked a little bit about Wise Lending, and I want to talk a little bit about some Wise whales too, because we actually know of some whales that put money in the protocol. Like I personally know the investor who put in $250,000 of this pool that is $292,000. He was an investor in, he bought a lot of Wise token in the very beginning, and we got to know him as a person too. So I actually he's not super crypto savvy. He is somewhat crypto savvy. So I actually was able to help him set up wallets and make exchanges and stuff. So right now he's actually got more money that he has on a centralized exchange that he's working on getting off a centralized exchange to convert it into Ethereum, because he says he wants to put 100 Ethereum into our protocol next. So I think that's pretty cool. There's also another guy that actually came from our Keychain friends. So the COO of Keychain has this guy that just sold a big company, made a lot of money, and heard about the APY we have on stablecoins and wants to put, he didn't say exactly how much, but potentially, if it works out well, we're talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars up to a few $1 million onto the platform. So this is really cool, because we already know that we've got $50 million coming from our strategic partnership with Key. And this is in addition to that. So we've already got 1.4 million. We know we got a few more million coming. We know of several different whales that are going to put money on the platform. Everybody's happy with the APY. It's working out really, really well. We've got real world asset vaults that we'll be integrating, early next year, and things are looking really, really good. So that's the news about the Wise whale. All right, no more questions. And now we can move on to our next subject, which is the leaderboards. So our leaderboards page, this used to be our points page, and we basically, it still is points, but we've tried to make it more understandable, and we've actually tweaked the points system so that it can be more understandable. And so this is the leaderboard, and you can participate in the leaderboard through making contributions. And so your contributions are, one, the money that you've deposited into Wise. You deposit money into Wise, you're going to start earning points. That's your contributions. In addition, you're going to earn contributions based off of your referral address. So down here, you can see that you have a referral link. If you've connected your wallet to the sites, then you can copy your referral link right here and pass that out to people. I'm going to go ahead and copy this and then show you what it looks like. Basically, you pass this link out to people and they're going to come up with this. They can connect their wallets and they're going to get this blue button. Mine says leave referral network because I'm already part of a referral network. But for new people, it'll be like join the referral network. And so they would just have to press the blue button. Their wallet, will pop up on MetaMask or Rabby or whatever, and they could sign that message, won't cost any gas, and boom, you're now part of the referral network. Now, whoever joins your referral network, they're going to earn 10% more points on their deposits, and you're going to earn 10% of their points on your deposits. So everybody really should be using a referral link, even if you want to join your own referral network, like that's perfectly fine too. But you should be using your own referral link because you get 10% more points for all the contributions you make. And so we had previously had this system where we were going to give people like 1% of the TVL in their entire network. But this way is actually even better because we are basically like, this is a way to reward referrals while kind of weeding out the people who don't refer, even if they're whales. Because here's what's going to happen. So right now, like you can see, I have a bunch of referrals. You can see that I have a bunch of referrals, and some of them put money on the platform. But you can see that my rank on the Ether board is only 20th out of 46, and then my rank on the stablecoin is only 10th out of 40. So even though I've referred a bunch of people, I think I have the most referrals right now. I'm still like, I'm not topping the leaderboards, and that is because those people that I referred, they've had bigger contributions because I'm only getting 10% of each of their contributions. So right now, like these people at the top of the leaderboard, they're the whales that put in the large amounts of money. However, if I keep on referring, like I'm going to earn I'm earning 10% of each one of those whales that I referred. And if I continue, eventually those 10% from everybody add up, and I'm going to have more points and be generating more points than even the big whale. So eventually, if I keep on referring, eventually I'll have millions of dollars referred to my network, and then I'm going to be generating more points on the leaderboards than even the big whales who maybe put in $1 million on their own. And so this is good because this means that this can be a system that rewards referrals. Because if we just did 1% flat for everybody, then those big whales, even if they did nothing, just the fact that they put a lot of money on the platform, they're basically gonna earn 1%. But this way, we're just referring the people, we're just rewarding people who are able to climb the ranks of the leaderboard, and eventually, when this prize pool grows, because right now we only have 1.47 million total value locked, right? But this is a direct factor of how big the prize pool is. So once we have 100 million, like even once we have 10 million, this prize pool will be a lot bigger, and we're distributing it every month. And what that means is that eventually we're going to be able to like pay like salary wages to like a dozen people on the top of this leaderboard. So you can start now. This season resets every single month. So every single month it's going to start a new season. The prize pool gets distributed, and we're going to tweak it and try different ways with the prize pool. So I just explained to you, like I want to reward effort of referring most of all. So we might look at the data and like reward people more that, you know, got more referrals, or, you know, that are growing their referral network and like showing effort that they're actually growing their referral network every single month. That's the people that I want to reward. But for right now, like, I just want people to know about this and to participate. So this $1,000 is going to be like kind of a flat distribution. Like, I want pretty much everyone who deposited onto the platform to get something, even if it's like $3. So like, I want people to know it's here. I want people to see something here and be able to claim it. And it's going to be kind of a flat distribution. But as we grow, we'll have more money, and we'll be able to, you know, start rewarding in a more like top-down way, so that if you're putting in the effort, then that means that you're going to be climbing up the leaderboard ranks, and you'll be able to earn a nice chunk of the fees. So yeah, so the idea is that this prize pool, you know, represents the fees that are being made on the platform, and not all of the fees, because some of fees are accounted for, right? So we've got 10% of the fees on the platform are going to the Wise R holders, right? But then we've got 90% that, you know, some need to go into investors until investors are paid. Remember, we just raised over $1 million to, you know, do some marketing, give us a proper launch. So those guys need to be paid back. But pretty much everything else, like, I'm not trying to make money off the fees on the platform. So, you know, like, as we grow bigger, we definitely are going to need to take a small amount just to pay the devs, and, you know, just make sure that we have got a sustainable amount of money that can, you know, pay the devs bills as we go on, because we still need a dev team. But pretty much everything else is going to be going to the leaderboards, as long as you guys can show me that this actually works. So when we launched Wise Token, our referral program was huge. It was like one of the big catalysts that brought in the $41 million that we are able to raise. If we can do something similar here, and we get a couple, you know, refers that just go all out and show me that you know, they can grow and they can bring money onto the platform, then that's going to be like, I'm going to make sure all money that's possible is going to be going to those people. Because I want to grow. Like, I want to grow. I want to get $1 billion total value locked in the platform on record time. And if we can do that through a referral system, then I'm going to make sure that all money possible that we are making from fees is routed back to those guys, and that they are paid very, very, very well. So that is the plan there. All right, we got some questions here. Hello, wise people. All right. I came here about 4 years ago, and my initial refer is long gone. Your initial refer, well, maybe their stake ended. So we're not talking about the referral system on Wise. That still exists. And so you can still use a referral link for Wise Token, and people that stake Wise, they can do it under your referral, and you could still earn money there. This is an entirely new system based off of the platform, you know, our flagship platform, Wise Lending, that we launched this year. And this is a way to earn some real income, because with Wise, you know, you're earning Wise tokens, and that's great. It's like, there's a lot of people that make a decent amount of money from referred Wise stakes. But, you know, Wise Lending is another opportunity, and I think it should be easier to build up a referral network with Wise Lending than even it would with Wise. I mean, you should do both, but with Wise Lending, I mean, how hard is it to get people to put money on the platform to earn 16% APY on USDC? Like, even if they're scared of crypto, the volatility of crypto, that's fine. Just put it in USDC and earn 15.96% APY. That's way better than they're going to be getting in their bank account, savings account. Like, there's nothing that can come close to this in traditional finance. And this is you know, extremely, extremely safe as well. So that shouldn't be hard to do. People don't have to take a risk. Like, they don't have to invest in a token. You can just convert your USD into USDC and then put on the platform. And if they don't have any crypto, well, we've got an integrated on-ramp with Cato. You can literally buy it with credit card or transfer it from your bank account into your crypto. So very cool. Where do I get a referral link for lending? Yeah, it's go to the gem. So go to app.wiselending.com/points, or it's the gem tab right here. And then here's your referral link. So as if you have a wallet connected, then you will have this right here. You can see your active referrals here, and you've got a little copy button right here to copy your referral link. You just pass that out to people. And like I showed earlier in the stream, what they're going to see is basically, this button. They just connect a wallet, click the blue button, sign a message, and boom, they are in your referral network. Would you suggest stablecoins or altcoins for power firm? So our power firms, we've got two different options. We've got stablecoins, which are these three, and then we have Ethereum, right? So there's no altcoins besides, unless you consider like Ethereum and altcoin. So there's four different options for power firms. You can use our USD one, or you can use the Ethereum one. But remember, like I said, it's only available when the pools are under 90% utilization. Right now, they're all borrowed up to basically 90% utilization. Like, there's not much money to borrow here. So you have to wait. Like, either you deposit some money on the lending side, like when I deposit money on the lending side here, I immediately open a power farm. Like if I deposit $10,000 here, well, then I'm going to go here and then I'm going to borrow up that $10,000. I'm going to use like $700 to, leverage 15x and then borrow up that $10,000 myself. So then I will be earning two different ways. I'll be earning as a lender, and then I will be earning a little bit more as a borrower who's utilizing a power farm. So that's a way to utilize, to optimize your APY a little more. Now, as a lender, if I just dump money in here as a lender, that is like stress-free. You don't have to worry about it. You're just going to earn this, base APY, and you're extremely safe, extremely protective. You don't have to monitor it at all. You're just going to earn this. You can just use it as a savings account, put money in and take it out whenever you want, and you're going to earn money in the meantime. The power farms, however, you got to monitor these because you're using leverage, which isn't the kind of leverage that's going to liquidate you if the price changes, because it's a stable coin, or it's you're using same type assets, Ethereum to staked Ethereum. So the price changing on Ethereum isn't going to liquidate you, but the APY can go negative. So you got to monitor these things, making sure you're still positive APY. Check it a couple times a week. It doesn't require a lot of maintenance, but you do have to kind of monitor it periodically just to make sure you're still okay, still earning money. And then of course, when the maturity date comes, you gotta end your position and then start a new farm if you want to continue with it. So there's a small amount of additional risk, but that's mitigated as long as you can monitor this. But if you want just completely hands-free, extremely low risk savings account, that's what this product is. Oh, I see now. Now I understand a little better. Great. I'm so glad. That's exactly what I want to do these for. And guys, I'm going to be pumping out some videos this week. I'm really excited about it. It takes me a while to edit them and to make a thumbnail that doesn't stink. But I'm really working hard on my YouTube channel, and I'm going to be putting out some more videos, hopefully this week for you guys. Yeah. So I guess I want to talk about one more thing before we end the stream, and that is Wise Token. And, Wise Token, man, if you guys don't know, we raised $41 million of Ethereum when we launched Wise Token. And we used that all to create this massive liquidity pool. And then we locked that liquidity pool, which gave, the Wise a price floor in ETH, and basically locked the liquidity so that there could be no whales. We essentially are like a meme coin, except like 10 times better than a meme coin, because we actually have no whales. Meme coins do have whales. That's where you can see, the price crashing from dumping. Even, fair launch meme coins have whales because they start off at small market caps, and then people can buy up a lot of tokens at that small market cap. We started with $82 million of liquidity. So there's nobody that could, grab up a lot of that liquidity. like right now, if you wanted to earn, if you wanted to be a wise whale, you gotta buy millions of dollars worth. So that's fine. If you want to buy millions of dollars worth, then the price of our token is going to go up a little bit too, because you're buying millions of dollars worth. But I made the mistake over these last 3 years of focusing too much on building and then kind of like letting our community fade off. I didn't do a lot of social media posting about Wise. Since we launched, I was more focused on the tech. But what I didn't realize, and what I'm coming to realize now, with the rise of these meme coins, is that tech is important. Like, tech is important. And I'm very happy that we have really good tech, and Wise Lending is super useful. I think it's going to grow to have billions in TVL. That revenue is 100% going to affect the value and price of Wise. Is going to make Wise pump significantly because we use the buy and burn. That's all super important. But a community behind the token is actually even more important. Like, I actually believe, after seeing it with my own two eyes, that the community, the strength of the community, is actually more important than the strength of the tech. And the cool thing about this is we got the tech right, and so we got it there. We're gaining traction. Our tech is going to be great. Building the community is something that we like. It doesn't matter that we kind of dropped the ball over the last 3 years on building the community, because we could build up the community again in like 3 to 6 months. That's going to be no problem. So building community, if you got committed people behind it, is a relatively easy thing to do. You can build a community for anything. The fact that these great strong communities spawn off of these silly meme tokens is just a testament to that. And the thing is, if we do build that strong community, then we're going to have not only a strong community, but also strong tech to back it up. And then we're going to be completely unstoppable. Because at the end of the day, meme coins, they can lose a lot of value. They can go up, but then they can go down like 90% in value. And they're really kind of fickle and reliant on, just the stars aligning. Like, for instance, Dogecoin is very reliant on like Elon Musk pumping it through, tweeting about Doge. And, it recently went up significantly because of the whole DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency stuff. So that's like news-driven stuff that determines the price. The good thing about us is that we're going to have a strong community, but that oscillates, right? There's going to be up times, there's going to be down times, especially, price dependent. But what we have behind us is really good tech. That really good tech is going to give us a baseline in value that's going up steadily. Now, our community value, we're going to add a lot on top of that, because if we were to talk about the price of Wise token, the price of Wise token right now is what, like 17, 18 cents, something like that. When we go back to $1 and, past $1 was our previous all-time high. When we reach $1 again and go past that, that might be 10% because of the tech and 90% because of the community. Because that's how valuable the community is. Because if people understand the tech, then they're going to try to front run it and buy it more of it because they know what's coming. And so community is super, super, super duper important to us. But the thing is, that community value, when people start FOMOing to Wise again, sure, the community value can fluctuate, but we got that baseline value of tech that is, steadily and slowly growing, that we could always fall back on and know that, this is what's going to carry us. And so this is why I'm so confident about Wise. Like, Wise literally has the potential to be the quintessential altcoin. And the reason for that is because of our large liquidity and because of our incredibly good distribution. There's no Wise whales. There's nobody that owns more than 4% of Wise. That's even better distributed than Ethereum itself. For instance, there's people that have got a chunk of Ethereum. So our end game is actually Wise token as a reserve asset. And so what we can do as a community as we're, building up the community, educating people about Wise, bringing more people in, holding Wise, not selling it, getting people hyped about Wise going to $1 to $5 to $10, and just getting excited about that, building a good community. We can start to get people onboarded and projects onboarded to use Wise as a reserve token. And so like imagine if something like the pump.fun application they launch meme coins, right? And it's on Solana, but imagine like an Ethereum version of that, or another company that generates lots of token pools. Imagine if they decided to pair all their token pairs with Wise instead of Ethereum, or Wise instead of Solana. That's the kind of thing we want. We want projects to pair their tokens with Wise instead of Ethereum. And the reason to do that is because we already have the price floor in Ethereum. So they already get the value of Ethereum. Ethereum price goes up, they don't lose that because they're paired with Wise. They gain that because Wise is going to follow Ethereum as it goes up. But Wise is a smaller market cap than Ethereum, and we're going to be pumping value into the market cap with the value that's created with Wise lending. So that means Wise is going to go up versus Ethereum as we grow in revenue. And so if Wise is going up versus Ethereum, then that means everyone would want to use Wise as that reserve token and pair their tokens with Wise because they know that Wise is going to go up versus Ethereum. And this can just create a snowball effect. This can make the price of Wise token go up very fast and just create basically a cascade effect, dominoes basically, where everybody wants to get in as soon as possible, because the earlier you get in, then you benefit from everybody else that pairs liquidity after you. Because every time somebody pairs liquidity with Wise tokens, that's a purchase of Wise. You're buying Wise. You're making the market cap go up. So this is the end game, and this is something that that's unique with us. You can't do this with any other altcoin. Why? Well, first of all, because they don't have a lot of liquidity. Try to do this with like even like the Uniswap token. Even the Uniswap token doesn't have the liquidity that we have. So if you don't have a lot of liquidity and ownerless liquidity, not just liquidity, but ownerless liquidity, then it's a risk because, because that liquidity can be pulled, it could be rug pulled. Like there's no guarantee that liquidity is going to stay there, especially if the price keeps on going up and up and up. But with Wise, we got this right now, $188 million worth of liquidity, and we know it's not going anywhere because it's an ownerless pool. So that's a prerequisite for this plan working. That's something that's unique about us that no other token can have. There's no other token that is even qualified to be a reserve token, and for that reason. And then the other part is because of our distribution. There can't be whales, because if there's whales and then everybody starts using that token as a reserve token, the price goes up massively, well, then those whales are going to dump on your head, right? So it's also a prerequisite. In addition to having big liquidity, it's a prerequisite that there's no whales. So guys, this is something that I was thinking about in 2019 when I first designed this. This is my end game. This is what I knew would be such an advantage. And so like we did it. We created $82 million worth of liquidity and which has grown to almost $200 million of liquidity. But once the price of ETH goes back up, it will be once again, $250 million of liquidity. So that worked. It worked amazingly. We also have amazing distribution. There's no whales in Wise. It's impossible to have whales in Wise unless somebody wants to sink in like $20 million to buy Wise. Then they can be a whale. But then also the price is going to go up like 40%. So we did that. We succeeded in doing something that's really, really hard and cannot be replicated. Like try to replicate that now. You're going to raise $200 million today to make a liquidity pool and then throw away the keys to that liquidity pool so that you can meet the prerequisites for being a reserve token. No, that's not going to happen. But that's something that I did. I threw away the keys to $41 million of ETH. I could have had that myself. I threw away the keys and made sure that liquidity pool was unruggable because I realized the opportunity here was way bigger than $41 million in ETH. like way bigger than anything, because the opportunity here is to be a true reserve token. And when we do that, when people start realizing this, when people actually start doing this and, pairing their liquidity tokens with Wise instead of ETH, and this starts working, it's going to work out amazingly, and no one is going to be able to compete with us because they don't meet the prerequisites, and they don't want to meet the prerequisites because the prerequisites mean that you got to sacrifice a lot of money up front. That $41 million, that was a big sacrifice. Not very many people can raise $41 million, and there's even less people that can raise $41 million and then, basically donate it to the purpose of making this fair and equitable ecosystem, so that we could have a true reserve token. So that's something that I did. So we're like, Wise token is going to be amazing. I mean, it already is amazing, but like the price is going to be amazing, just because of these things that I'm laying out to you. Like it's got so much potential, and that potential is not diminishing. It's actually getting better. As the more the price of ETH goes up, the harder it is to compete with us, and the more valuable our liquidity is, the more, the better it is to use as a reserve token. So if you're watching this right now, I would like buy some Wise, even if it's just $1,000 worth of Wise, because the more people, the more unique wallets that buy Wise, especially if it's like $1,000 or more, the more decentralized it becomes. It becomes like the liquidity, it becomes even more spread out. The biggest whales get, smaller and smaller, and that just makes it even better, and an even better base case for an even better candidate for being a true reserve token. So this is what we need to build our community on and start talking to people about, because I can't do this by myself. Like I just raised $1 million so that we can up our marketing. Our Twitter's starting to look really good. We're starting to see some results there. I got the marketing covered. I'm working on the PR, but building the community is not something I can do by myself. Like I can do these videos and streams, and I'm going to, and I know those can be a catalyst. They can absolutely be a catalyst, because, those $41 million of ETH that was raised pretty much from me live streaming 50 days in a row during the auction. That's basically why we were able to raise so much. That, and the fact that we had a really good referral program. But this relies on you guys too. And so this is one thing that I really didn't emphasize, and I should have, because I can't do this by myself. The community is so important, but I can't build the community by myself. I need you guys to get involved. I need free cult labor, as I was sharing to you in the other video. Because if you are listening, if you see what I'm putting down here, and you can see the potential, well, then we got another true believer who can talk about Wise, and then it's going to be fun for you to talk to people about Wise. It's going to be fun for you to participate in the community. It's going to be fun for you to contribute. Now, we already have, we got a bunch of free cult labor already. We got people making websites for analytics on Wise. We got people doing, being a reply guy on our Twitter account, hundreds and thousands of hours put in, all free cult labor. And those things are great. Like we have such a strong core of people in in Wise that have been here, from the very beginning. We need to grow that. We need to fan the flames and keep on growing that. And let's do it, guys. Let's build our community. Let's tell some more people about Wise. Let's amp it up. We got so much potential. Let's start sharing the news and letting people know about our potential, about the fact that we want to be a reserve token, and here's why. Here's why we qualify, and here's why nobody else qualifies. And when people see that, that's going to be exciting. Pepe token, not the Pepe token on exchanges, but the original 2016. It's called Rare Pepe token. Their developers just burned $50 million worth of tokens from the dev wallets. Their market cap is like 550 million right now, and so they did that as a good faith gesture to show that, hey, they're in it to win it, and they want Pepe to grow, and so they burned that $50 million to show their commitment to the Pepe token. Now that's fantastic. But the thing is, them having $50 million of token in the first place, like if obviously wasn't 50 million when they launched it, but them having being a whale and having a whale amount of tokens in the first place is a flaw in their overall system. Like it could have been better, right? And there's nothing wrong with Pepe, and I love Pepe. I even hold some of their tokens, for fun, and I think it's great. But what I'm pointing out here is that Wise did it better. Our tokenomics are nearly perfect. Like they're about as good as they can be. We were designed in such a way that we don't have to burn those $50 million of tokens because there's never any whales and never can be any whales because we launched with $82 million of liquidity. We actually did something better, which is we raised all that money and then we created $82 million of liquidity. And then on day one, we burned that $82 million worth of liquidity, which gave us a permanent market and ensured that we would never have any whales, because we launched with 82 million in liquidity and it's never been less than that. We're now at $200 million worth of liquidity. So this is really significant. We really launched like with almost perfect tokenomics. And there's huge value in that. There's huge value in our liquidity pool as making Wise the reserve asset that it's meant to be. And we don't even need the tech to be able to do this. There's meme coins going to tens of billions of dollars in market cap just because of the fact that they're fair launches and that there's less whales. We have no whales. And we've got, the tech behind us too. So our potential's through the roof. All right. So I'm going to stop preaching because I can even feel myself. It just sounds like I'm preaching to you guys at this point. But I'm very passionate about this because this is my vision, and we're finally at the place where the vision can become realized. So it's time. It's time now to pick up the torch. Time to be an advocate for Wise, a community member for Wise, a degen for Wise. It's time to start building community and get excited about the fact of Wise becoming a reserve token, of Wise token, getting to $1, $5, $10, even $50 or $100, possible in the future. It's like we got to start, putting people on a pedestal that are making, locking up Wise in stakes for long amounts of time to show their commitment, because, there's no faster way to get us to $1, $5, $10 than to start really putting people on a pedestal who don't sell Wise or lock it up for a long period of time. So we should start putting those people on a pedestal, the people that never going to sell until $5, never going to sell until $10. And that type of thing. And that's how you drive hype. That's how you create self-fulfilling prophecies. And that's how you really build a community. So thank you so much, guys. I hope that was fun for you. I'm going to do at least one more stream this week, and I'm working on some videos as well. Let me check the chat before I go. Oh, really? We're at actually 19 cents now, even better than I thought. So 19 cents for Wise. Says, I like you preaching because of your passion for the project. Yeah, this is everything to me. And I mean it, because I literally put my money where my mouth is. Like I'm not a rich person. I have become more wealthy just from the fact of holding Wise and holding ETH, and everything I have, like my entire net worth, the vast majority of it is either in Wise, like holding Wise, or I've already spent it on the development of Wise and Wise lending. So there's no person in the world that believes in Wise more than me. And it's also impossible for me to stop believing in Wise, because this is literally all I got. And it's happening. It's actually happening. So I am really happy about that. Raymond says, here I am, finally caught alive. Love the news and the updates. Thank you, Raymond. Good to see you, man. All right, so we're going to go ahead and leave it off there. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm really glad that the stream was able to work out today. We'll do another stream. I'm not sure if it's going to be like Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, or maybe we'll do 2 before the end of this week. But thank you guys so much, and I will see you in the next one.